I did, but then when I got home, like never again. The next morning,
Yeah, I
I
know.
was one too many.
Here's the thing. I think that these fields are always preserved in spring because it's like let's be honest, it's going to have
Well, that's the basic classes when it doesn't.
there's not you and I are not even it's fun. Spring with light at the end of the tunnel.
coming here today. I have the honor of welcoming friends, family, students, and staff to the graduation of the class of 2025. Thank you all for supporting the individuals here in front of you, whether it be just for a few months or throughout their whole lives. It is thanks to you all that we can stand here on the stage and celebrate the past 18 years of this. For the school, although I've only been here for 2 years, I'd like to recognize the impact that these last 2 years have had on me. It's not always been pretty. At times I found myself drifting, pulled around in whatever direction. It felt aimless. Those times were so entirely unremarkable. But, for each of these gray spots, there was color. So many colorful spots to go with it, filled with character. It was amazing. This year especially. This year I've gotten out. I've talked to people, I've been to restaurants, fields, walked up hills, so many random places and events, activities here at this school. I really loved my time experiencing this panoply, this cacophony of things to do. It's been so much fun getting to see myself with all of these people that have been here for me and with me throughout these past 2 years. I'm so grateful for many things, but especially for my brother and our weekly calls about whatever modern advantages there are. It's great. For my family down the road, for taking me in so warmly, showing me how they live, their family, all of it. Thank you so much, Johanna. And lastly, for this school, its students, and particularly this class right here. The girls are the most beautiful that the school has ever seen. And the boys, they didn't tell me to say anything. As a whole, this class, it's incredibly uplifting. I felt no hatred, no animosity, none of that from anyone over my 2 years. Which is a feat in itself, especially given this year's schedule, where almost all of us have the exact same classes. We see each other every single day, 8 hours, just stuck with each other, you know? It's really a wonder how it's been so positive. Having that much positive energy coming out of that cramped environment, even if it comes out in sarcasm, which is very apt to, just to have that amazing forward-looking force surrounding me, it was truly something special. Maybe I'm putting on the rose-tinted glasses too soon, but I'm really glad to have spent these 2 years with you. It means more to me than I'm willing to admit. I hope that you all will cherish these people brought to the stage. They really are special people that can go so far as the future's doctors, engineers, diplomats, designers. I ask that you all take care of them while they're at your side and as they start to spread their wings. Thank you.
Thank you, Niels. Good job. That was Niels Schmidt. He is our class salutatorian for 2025. The title of salutatorian is granted to the graduating senior with the second highest GPA in the school. After 2 years at AIS, Niels has managed to finish with a cumulative GPA of 4.04. Niels has achieved this with a very challenging course load in his senior years, taking 4 advanced placement courses: chemistry, European history, literature and composition, and calculus BC. Niels has also successfully taken previous APs, world history, psychology, environmental science, and pre-calculus. Niels is also a National Merit Scholarship finalist, which is a remarkable academic achievement. As impressive as these academic achievements are, they do little to describe Niels as a student. In class, Niels is not simply doing the reading or not simply completing the practice problems. He's always thoughtfully considering the material that's being presented. As a math teacher, I'm used to answering student questions with a quick example or a quick explanation. Niels has, more frequently than I'd like to admit, caught me off guard with thoughtful follow-up questions that caused me to reevaluate my own intuition on topics. I have looked through Niels' report card comments to see that this thoughtfulness is not exclusive to my math class. Here are some quotes from the teacher's commentary this year. One teacher writes, "He keeps me on my toes, and this is something I greatly appreciate." Another explains, "His mix of logic, focus, and creativity makes him a strong presence in the classroom." Socially, and I quote another report card comment from the resident staff, "Niels is a delight here in the dorms and appreciated member of our community." In addition to these academic achievements, Niels has also been a member of the school's soccer team for the past 2 years. After graduating here at AIS, Niels plans to attend the University of Edinburgh, where he will study linguistics. Next, we'll hear from our valedictorian. The title of valedictorian is given to the graduating senior with the highest cumulative GPA. With a GPA of 4.15 at the end of his second year at the school, our class valedictorian is Bogdan Muzu. Like Niels, Bogdan earned these results the hard way, with challenging course loads that includes AP Chemistry, AP European History, Literature Composition, and Calculus AP in his senior year. As a junior last year, he took AP Human Geography and AP Pre-Calculus. He had earned the maximum possible score of 5 on both of those exams last year, and his teachers expect he will produce similarly excellent results this year when the AP scores get released in July. When Bogdan first joined our school last year, since he joined our school last year, up through the second trimester this year, Bogdan has received a total of 69 trimester and final grades. 45 of these grades are A+. That's 65% of A+. An A+ is a grade of 97% or higher. If you get 19 out of 20 points on a quiz, you have scored 95%. That's an excellent result. That's not an A+. 33 out of 34 would be needed for an A+. And more often than not, that's been Bogdan's average performance over the course of a common trimester. I remember my first meeting with Bogdan when he first joined our school in 2023. I was speaking with another student in the foyer of our school. The student that I was talking to asked how my summer vacation was and what I was doing. I told the student that I was locked in a room doing math all summer. The student didn't react like I wanted them to, but Bogdan, who I'd never met before, reacted very enthusiastically, and I forget exactly what he said, but it was very appreciative of my comment, and he stood up and shook my hand. At that moment, I thought I knew exactly the type of student Bogdan would be. But over the past 2 years, my opinion of Bogdan has been consistently evolving. He's intelligent and hardworking and confident, but also humble in that he's very receptive of feedback, constantly asks questions, and visits teachers' office hours. He's personally very driven and goal-oriented, but generous with his time when helping his classmates. And a few of his classmates in pre-calculus and calculus would partially credit him for their success. He's very strong in math and science, but is also interested in poetry and creative writing. I was somewhat surprised when he asked me to be his advisor for the senior research paper. I was even more surprised that his chosen topic centered around Middle Eastern politics. This is all to say that I'm consistently taken aback by the range and depth of Bogdan's interests and talents. Once again, report card comments put it succinctly. One of his teachers writes, "Bogdan is a very dedicated student who always strives to reach his full potential." And from the resident staff, out of all the senior class, Bogdan is one of the most well-liked members of our community. Like Niels, Bogdan will also be studying at the University of Edinburgh next year, where he plans to study philosophy and politics. Please join me in welcoming this year's valedictorian, Bogdan Muzu.
I would like to jump straight into my speech basically because it's quite poetic. As you all may know, there comes a point in everybody's life where death takes over. There comes a point where success seems dull, and any impulse towards it is in vain. Doubt governs our daily lives here at the AIS, and creates a vacuum in which we're forced to function, but we have to move on. And unfortunately, most of us, when it comes to doubt, are different, occupied with thoughts. Graduation is a day of doubt, as if it had to occupy one of the calendar days, and proclaim it to be the day of growth, freedom, and new beginning. Result of our former preoccupation. However, beneath graduation gowns and caps, roads defined with smiles, still lays doubt. It will accompany us the rest of our lives, and we know it in this revelation was exactly at graduation. It came to me just now, although this speech was written prior to this event. And all the while as I wrote, I stumbled upon different recollections from the past. I attempted to find this exact feeling of doubt, and I couldn't. My home has always been a very cozy place. Perhaps this is why I cannot sense doubt through the years. Growing up in Ukraine was marked with frivolity, and sincerity, and serenity. I can clearly recall the many times I was sent to my grandma's house in the village. Nature governs over man. Folks are overgrown with this flourishing scent of bushes. It was amazing. I would definitely sell everything that I have now to go back to those times, even though I hated them as a child. Today we have my beautiful mother, my sister sitting in the front row. My father is at home in Ukraine watching the online translation, and although physically divided, as a family we are united at heart. My mother has always been a very loving woman, always ready to support my endeavors and remove the stones from my shoes. Always. My father, a man of pure wisdom, is critically always right. I cannot imagine my father losing an argument. I also cannot imagine him not being caring, since he has always been. My sister, a funny individual, just makes me laugh in the moments when laughter seems impossible. I want to thank my family, every one of them, everyone, even those who I didn't mention, who are still thinking about me. I will love you forever. I'm eternally grateful for the opportunity you gave me. All the support and guidance I've received from you is immeasurable and not only appreciated, but also deeply cherished. This brings me back to the topic school. Support. It is the trunk from which all success and passion branch out and bloom with courage and resilience. We should all recognize that. I was lucky enough to have had this support within the walls of AIS. It didn't matter the weather or the mood I had. I would always be cheered up by the presence of my dear friends from 12th grade, 11th grade, 10th grade, didn't really matter. And having them is not a normal working condition, but a privilege. And I would really appreciate you appreciate your friends the way we all appreciate you for coming today and being with us. This school is not just a place, it is a shelter. At least for me, it became one. And as in every shelter, you meet all sorts of people, hiding from the hideous attacks and insults of the world. I met my people here. I stumbled upon them quite randomly and comically, but something led me to them. Simple coincidence or elaborately devised plan, nobody knows. Even with all the philosophical knowledge given to me by Mr. McLean, I cannot answer this question. This school gave me knowledge, of course. There are things even infinite knowledge cannot substitute or replenish. I cannot express how grateful I am for having so many great people in my life. People who are truly alive and can listen. Who can listen and not interject with their own issues. Who can believe in you with all their energy and cry and laugh. True friendship. Yes. That is exactly what AIS had to offer. And I took at the moment I got the chance and grit it tight. The person from the senior class who I want to thank the most for that is Jeanette. Who's with us today. She's the kind of person who cannot be described with words. I hope you all have that kind of person in your lives. All adjectives that I try to find, all the nouns and associations that I can come up with, fall apart and escape my reason when it comes to remembering and recalling Jeanette. Instead all the walks, jokes, and talks and moments of sweet silence as in 12th grade and 11th grade reappear in my head. She introduced me to true friendship and taught me what it means to be alive. I hope that every one of us has this kind of person in our lives. I also want to express my love and admiration to the 11th grade class. You're amazing, all of you, every one of you. Those with whom I laughed in AP Chemistry and German. Those I meet only in corridors where we quickly share our daily anecdotes. And of course, those who become life companions. And those are incredible just because they chose to breathe the same air as you did. Thank you. Personally, life at this school was amazing. All jokes and reprimands aside, this place made me realize myself and led me to believe in inconceivable things. Inconceivable. And things that I thought I would never be able to experience. I forgave my disbelief and faced the loving and caring side of the world again. And I want to thank all of you for that. Right? And although I'm not the best friend, I'm not the best brother, I'm not the best student and not even the best son, I recognize my imperfections and I intend to move forward. When I try to tend to one issue, I recognize another aspect of my life in classes, which is drunkenness. There will never be a fight. We doubt will ever move us forward. But do doubt, please, all of you, not only the senior class, but 9th graders, 10th graders, parents, brothers, sisters, teachers, everybody, musicians. And do love. Remember that we never get tired of people. We get tired of our insincerity when we are with them. So be true to yourselves. And be true to them, to those who love and appreciate. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you cannot see. Remember that doubt is not hesitation, and love is not weakness, it's clarity. Thank you very much.
At this time, and by the way, thanks Paul very much, and Gold everywhere. At this time, the Pro Musica Quartet, including Ms. Monger and Ms. Larsteiner from our teaching faculty, will provide you with a brief bit of interlude and music. There's a tradition here at the school that the members of the senior class make an expression of their gratitude and thanks during this interlude, and they would like to do so again in their traditional life. Please.
Advanced math, senior project, and my favorite, what I have learned about you. Before I even met you, I knew you were brave. You came to a boarding school on your own. You became part of a community. As a class, we rarely have to ask you to speak English. You joke that it's because you don't have any other common languages, but that's just not true. You are compassionate and inclusive, adaptable. Spring of 2020, our first lockdown, whether you were here or not, you all went through the change to online classes, remote learning, demanding tech to become a huge part of your education. You learned your social skills online. You wore masks, washed your hands, and tried to keep your community healthy. Resilience. February 2022, you were on a ski excursion when you heard that there were military attacks in Ukraine. You showed your empathy and understanding for others by making donations, protesting, and showing kindness and friendship to those Ukrainian students that began to join our community. All of those challenges happened your first 3 years at the school. On top of that, you had your first kisses, your first breakups, your first failures, first final exams, the first time you pushed your boundaries because you wanted to be independent, or maybe you had your first disciplinary meeting. You were growing up. I remember a specific moment in 9th grade when I recognized that you were about to become young adults. You all stopped raising your hands to answer questions. I said, I understood, but very maturely, you realized that even though my brain understood, my heart didn't. So you began raising your hands again, and you continued to in 11th grade and 12th grade, showing that you were not just growing academically and socially, but emotionally. AP placement courses took over some of your lives. You found you enjoyed the challenges, the frustration, and the sense of accomplishment. You felt, so you took additional self-study AP classes. You are curious and driven. This group of seniors has what I think of as an incredibly rare trait in a class. You are caring towards one another. You accept one another's strengths and weaknesses and adjust accordingly. You make one another laugh, and you appreciate, not ignore, your differences. You noticed some caps fell off. Immediately, they helped one another. A sash fell down. Immediately, people fixed the sash and helped. That's a trait of this class. That's what I mean, caring towards one another. This next trait needs a bit more of an introduction. When I was in 8th grade, I wanted to win a chorus award at our 8th grade graduation ceremony. The day of our winter concert, I woke up with a fever. I knew if I did not attend the concert that I would never win the chorus award. I talked my mom into letting me attend the concert. Did I win the chorus award? No. I did get a concussion when I fainted before we even began singing the first song. The day of the 8th grade graduation, I was so disappointed when I didn't win that I almost didn't hear my name being announced for the Citizenship Award. 14-year-old me didn't understand why she had won an award for being nice. I thought it was boring. I thought being kind was common, being kind was easy. I know now that kindness is not always a given, that people can just as easily choose not to be kind, to encourage division instead of inclusion. Your daily decisions have led both Mr. McLean and Mrs. Fox to comment on your kindness and how your attitude and actions have directly influenced the tone of this past school year. Kindness can be a smile, a nice word, or a compliment, a joke, wearing a mask, checking if someone is okay, an offer of friendship, listening, raising your hand to answer a question, expressing your thanks, supporting your school sports team, making sure someone is on time for class, giving thoughtful advice, like you all did to next year's seniors. Don't panic, it never helps. Dream bigger than what feels possible, because here's the truth, you can. Become an example, not an unachievable standard. Be kind to everyone, including yourself. Don't worry, because there is enough time for everything. Appreciate your friends and people who support you. Talk to people. It's easier to learn a subject if you try to enjoy it. Don't always do the easy thing. An act of kindness often leads to other acts of kindness. An act of kindness is actually what brought me to Salzburg. But before we talk about that, do you have any guesses of what kind of animal the snow beast is? This isn't a trick to see if you're still going to raise your hands. Milan, this sounds like something you might know. Any guesses? It's got really long eyelashes, feet that expand, a mouth that can chew thorns. It could be 9 feet tall, and it carries its own backpack full of fat to keep it warm and nourished in the cold. Any guesses? It's a camel. Sorry, Esme. I was going to say pig. Okay. You could have just said, I was going to say camel right now. An animal we think of as being perfectly adapted for the desert. Camels have been on Earth for 45 million years, and for 40 million of those years, they lived only in North America. All of these skills that make you perfect for the conditions at AIS Salzburg. Your ability to be brave, adaptable, resilient, empathetic, curious, caring, community-oriented, and most of all, kind, will help you to find where you belong. At my freshman year orientation, I asked another student if she wanted to sit with me. She'd been filling out a form, she was awkwardly leaning on a trash can. She became my first friend at the university. The year after we graduated, she moved to Salzburg to work here at the American International School. She thought I would like it here. I applied for a job. That was 2004. It's now 2025, and I spent last evening watching camels frolicking in the snow. Jane Goodall said, what you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what difference you want to make. You have made a difference to our community, a positive difference. Tomorrow, you have to wake up and make that decision again. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. And then come home to AIS Salzburg and share your adventures with us, because we cannot wait to see what you accomplish next.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rohn. Can we take a moment before we turn to moments, which is what we're all here for? We take a moment and hard work and support and instruction, care, and guidance provided by the members of the American International School of Salzburg, teaching faculty, administration, support staff, and resident care staff. Would you please stand? And before we proceed, a round of applause for our wonderful, beautiful Commencement quartet. And now we come to the important part of the ceremony of commencement, and that is the awarding of the school's diploma. With the members of the class of 2025 of AIS Salzburg, please stand. When your name is called, please step forward to receive your diplomas. Valedictorian of the class of 2025, Bogdan Muzhuk. Salutatorian of the class of 2025, Niels Schmidt. Noah Raman Adam. Raina Al-Musawi. Daniel Alizadeh. Barbara Angara. Polina Antoshina. Janet Patinova. Yegor Chernovayev. Egla Haliti. Stefania Horoshko. Joshua Houlihan. Wilhelm Kraus. Diego Oreiza Lopez. Ivana Papesh. Katarina Prima. Esme Grace Sakalowski. Theodora Savage. Vico Seltzan. Very briefly, following the next pronouncements, we'd like to invite everyone to join us for refreshments and drinks just behind here in the terrace area. I don't know if the sunshine is still pouring down outside or not, but we'll be comfortable here, and you can spend plenty of time with these graduates and congratulate them and welcome them to the world of alumni status. Ladies and gentlemen, there remains nothing further for the ceremony than for me to pronounce and present the graduating class of the American International School of Salzburg 2025. Congratulations.
I'll put it like, I'll take it, turn it off actually.